pretty good. Okay, so we're back. I had to come back home. I'm on the balcony. Can y'all see that? Look at the pool. Hey. Okay, so where we were, I was talking about when your freedom frustrates other people. How do you handle that, right? When your freedom, the fact that you're happy and you're go-lucky and you are in your cognizance and you're feeling it and you're feeling sexy and you're feeling strong and you put your clothes on and then for 1 second, just 1 second, that's all it takes, you hear this like critical voice in your head from somebody who didn't value you. Like, girl, that dress is too short, right? Or whatever the person said to you. So now it's starting to rain on your parade because just that little small voice. And that's all it takes is just a little small voice to kind of upset you, right? Or discourage you. So I got to thinking, because there are people who don't want to see you coming because maybe you have too much joy, you have too much peace, your stature, your strut, your swag, just lets them know you're in the major leagues. And they may be feeling like they're in the minor leagues. Now, they can train and come on up to the majors, but instead of doing that, some people want to make your life absolutely miserable, right? So as I'm thinking about this, when your freedom frustrates other people, this is what I thought about. Part of the reason your freedom frustrates other people is because somewhere you got it. You realize that you don't have to dance by anybody else's music but your own. Like you stepped out of some religious confinement, right? Some type of a spell that was put on you because you were in a manipulative relationship or an abusive relationship. And then you realize that you could be free, right? And so whatever the key was to unlock that door, you turned that key, honey, and you unlocked that door and you stepped out like Diana Ross. I'm coming out. Don't get me started, because I will rock Diana Ross. Yes. So now you're free. And I got to thinking about this. Some people are frustrated because of your freedom because they're not free. They're not free mentally. Now, what's interesting, like you're free physically. I mean, there's nobody stopping you from going out your door. And if they are, call 911, please, and tell them it's an emergency. But just like you, they can decide to make a change, get up and go out the door or go somewhere, eat by themselves, but they won't do it, right? So they'll be like, girl, if I was you, I don't understand how you do that. You went to the movies by yourself? But you need to go see Girls Trip. What an awesome, funny movie, right? Go see it this weekend. I'm going to go see it a second time. Right, okay, so they're upset because you have figured it out. You have found the combination for your freedom, and you got out of the box. You got out of the can with the other crabs, right? So their crab mentality couldn't keep you down. You figured a way out, and they're upset. You remember we were kids and you would do something and your sister or brother would catch you and they would go, oh, I'm telling mama you got an extra cookie, right? And then you'll be like, so? And then they'll say, I won't tell if you give me some, right? So the thing is, they're upset because you made to get that extra, right? And they have it. They're being controlled by whatever guidelines or restrictions that have been imposed upon them, right? Because you do know some of the reasons you act the way you do is because someone imposed their opinions and their values onto you. Now, I'm not going to say it's always a bad thing because, growing up, you need some sense of direction. You go to church, it gives you a guideline, a blueprint on how to use your life and live your life so you don't get messed up and stuff, right? But there comes a point where you develop your own relationship with the Lord and you develop what values you have, right? Now, that don't mean you're going to walk away from the church and become a hoe. That don't mean that. You ain't going to have to be a pimp, right? And if you are, I bind that in the name of Jesus right now. If you got a pimping spirit, loose him and let him go. All right, so all I'm saying is you found a way out and somebody's frustrated. I was walking down the hall one time at this job. And it was an older lady. Now, she was frustrated. You know why she was frustrated? Because she was still in a job that she was not feeling fulfilled in. And I was just walking down the hall with my heels on. And one day, she said to me, you walking around here like And I finished her sentence. And I said, like I am somebody? Because I am. Because this is what I thought. Honey, when I was in my prison, did you come and visit me? Did you put anything on my books? When I was in that dark place, couldn't get out of my bed, sleeping for 16, 18 hours, right? Couldn't work. Only 8 hours a week. Did you come and visit me? Did you pay my bills? Did you pay them? Did you come and hold my hand and say, Delores, I'm going to pray with you right now, right? Then why should I be disturbed or discouraged or distracted by the fact you don't want to see me coming? Honey, you paid a nice price to be free. Some of y'all got free from relationships. Some of y'all walked off jobs that was killing you. And now people want to tell you, girl, I don't know. If I were you, I would go back. Well, they ain't you. So why would you go back in the fire when you know it's going to burn you? Can I talk to real people tonight? Can I talk to you? I know it's a Friday night and the feeling is right. Okay? And it's ladies' night. Okay, I'm going back old school when I was a DJ. This is what you have to remember. When your freedom frustrates somebody else, that's their problem. Can I say that again? When your freedom frustrates other people, that's their problem. That's not yours. You don't have to defend yourself. All you need to do is keep strutting. You need to keep, shining bright like a diamond. Do what you got to do. Don't apologize for being free. Nobody came in there and fought that fight, but you did. You won. You were down to the last count, right? You were coming out of the ring. They knocked you down, right? Discouragement, disappointment, anger, frustration, addiction knocked you down. You was hanging on the ropes. You was hanging on the ropes, trying to do the rope-a-dope. Here, hanging on the ropes, right? And then you got a second win, and you came up there and you became the champion of your life. They ain't got to celebrate you. This is your party. This is your life. Do what you got to do. And stop cowing down to other people's problems, perspectives. Okay? Why do that? Be down with OPP. You ain't got to be down with their opinions. You don't have to be down with their perspectives. And so what? You lose a friend. They wasn't your friend in the first place. See, you got dream stealers, you got dream killers, and you got dream fulfillers, as one of my friends says, okay? Yes. So you need to know who you're dealing with, and you get to decide if they are going to write the script of your life. Why are you sitting at home? Rhonda, why are you at home? Where are you planning on going? Lynn, what you doing tonight? Carol, what you doing tonight? Michelle, what are you doing tonight? Steven, what are you doing tonight? Okay? And when you answer that, tell yourself, why are you doing that tonight? Is it because somebody else, is pulling your strings like you some puppet? Well, baby, you better get to cutting. You ain't no tranquilicus or, anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about, where you do it and the mouth come open and start dancing and all that. Stop letting people pull your strings, because you're the one that's miserable. You're the one that's sitting there with the pain, right? So I'm going to tell you to get up and get outside. I don't care if you're going to go get an ice cream cone. If somebody tell you can't go get an ice cream cone, go get an ice cream cone anyway, right? Somebody tell you don't need that Snicker bar, go get that Snicker bar. I didn't say 5 Snickers. I said a Snicker bar, right? Honey, I'm so on fire. Okay, you said ventriloquist. Thank you, Adrian. Y'all know what I'm saying. Ventriloquist. I love hooks on phonics. Okay. You are free. Now, this is how Maya Angelou broke it down. Okay, so below this video is a copy of the poem Still I Rise. Now, I'm going to try to do some of it from memory. So bear with me, right? Let me try to figure out what I'm going to do. You may write me down with your bitter, twisted lies. Like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness offend you? Don't take it awful hard. That I dance like I got oil wells pumping in my backyard. Just like moons and like stars with the certainty of tides. Still like dust, baby, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I dance like I got oil wells pumping in my living room. Does my sexiness upset you? Don't you take it awful hard. 'Cause I dance like I got all I need in my backyard. You can cut me with your words, baby. You can shoot me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise. Now, y'all go and work that poem out here. Because there's a part where she says, like she moves like she got diamonds at the meeting of her thighs. Okay? And she talks about where she came out of the hunts of history. Okay? You came out of something. And you surpassed expectation of what somebody else had for you, right? You used to think you was a little old fish, but you realized you was stronger than that. You thought you was a little chicken. You thought you was the little chicken, the ugly duckling, right? Because I used to go around saying that poem. I was an ugly duckling, and I'm really a swan. Baby, now I've done past that. I'm an eagle. And you know what? You don't see eagles often, right? So that's why you get their attention. That's why. You be like, why they keep staring at me? Why they keep looking at me? Why shouldn't they look at you? You look good. Stop thinking that because somebody is looking at you that it's a bad thing. Maybe somebody wants to admire you. And then when they admire you and give you a compliment, stop cutting them off saying, oh, no, this whole thing. Enjoy it. Lay back in it. Rest in it. Why are we so accustomed to the negative? Because we live in a negative society. And you are on autopilot. 85% of your inner conversation is negative. I mean, it's just a part of the way it is. But you get to decide to do something else. Now, Adrian said some people have been in bondage so long, they need to be taught how to be free. That's right. That's why you watch me, all right? That's why you listen to Finally Free and all of the stories of other people, right? That's why you watch whatever that person that you admire, find out what they're doing, because they learned it. Some things we're born with. Like, we have certain talents, but you develop skills, right? I used to be so insecure. I would walk hunched over, because I'm 5'10" without my stilettos, and when I have my stilettos on, I'm about 6 or 6'1", and I love it. I absolutely love it. And when a man comes up to me who is below that, I don't go, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I say, can you handle this? Baby, can you handle this? CC, can you handle this? Whoever, can you handle this? I don't think you can handle this. Oh, I had a Destiny Child's moment right there, because I'm on a mission to live my destiny. Right? So don't apologize. Here's another thing. When you're free and it upsets other people, you have to understand that their preference, right? I prefer a person with blonde hair, or I prefer a person with long hair, or I prefer a person with this or that. That's a preference. Don't allow somebody's preference to become your problem. Hello? Can I get a whoop whoop up in there? Don't let their preference become your problem. Why do you have to take that on, right? Well, because I don't want to be alone. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Had a Lionel Richie moment right there. I think I'm going to have to hug myself, because ain't nobody here to do it. All right. But when your freedom frustrates other people, know that you're doing something right. You have broke the status quo. That's the word I'm looking for. You ain't flowing with the status quo, right? They're saying it ain't supposed to look like this, but you're saying, let me show you. Let me show you how it's done, right? Now, some people say, well, that's kind of cocky and arrogant. Honey, let me tell you something. They can call it what they want, but all I know is I'm free. Well, Sister Delores, you don't say what you used to say. You just gonna walk right by me and not see me. Now, here's the thing. Really, how about maybe I didn't see you? You gonna do that and you ain't gonna talk? You ain't gonna speak to me? How about you speak to me? Now, anybody that knows me is I'm one of the most approachable, personal people you will ever meet. And I'm just about sharing the love. Honey, I will walk up to a stranger like I did the other day. I stopped. And I said, Lord, well, I can't turn around and go get that man no money. Now, I can't tell you what you do with your money, but I remember what it was like to be homeless. So I get out my car, I park it, walk back over to the bridge where he's at, and we start having a conversation. Now, whether the man was going to go buy crack or coke or whatever wasn't my problem. I just felt I was supposed to do this. And when I got over there, and this man was a white man, he wasn't a black man, because kindness has no color, right? If you free and you want other people to be free, you can't say, I want you to be free because you're black. I want you to be free because you're white. You want people to be free because you're supposed to be free. So I go over and talk to the man for just a moment. Yes, I do. Ask him how he's doing. Ask him where he's from. And then I say, can I hug you? And he's like, well, yeah. And then I say, well, God bless you. Keep the faith. It gets better with time, right? That's what you got to do. That's all I'm saying. All right, it's Friday. I'm not going to keep you all night long. But I want you to put your freedom on. I want you to get your stuff right. If you were planning to stay home, Joyce, I need you to get out. Doretha, get out. Okay? Nicole, go do something. Well, I don't. Here's the thing. If you argue for your limitations, you're going to get them. If you argue for your excuses, you're going to get them. You are. Well, I ain't got no babysitter. Well, is there a place you can go and you take the children for the moment? I mean, you can figure it out. There is a solution. You have to decide. Maybe your sister or your brother or your cousin, somebody you trust, maybe they'll watch the kids for 2 hours. You ain't got to have 8. Well, if I can't stay the whole time, I ain't going. So you're going to miss out on any of it, right? So if they say, I'll keep the kid for 3 hours, then go for 3 hours. But come back after 3 hours. Don't burn your bridges here. Don't play crazy, because then they ain't going to help you. Then you're going to wonder why nobody wants to keep your kids. Right? Okay. I'm a little worked up, as I always get, because I'm just passionate I am passionate about people finally being free. I am passionate, and I'm on a mission to move you beyond your labels, your limitations, and your low self-esteem. Because whom the sun sets free is free indeed, right? And I'm done hiding, okay? You know how you get a job and the people ask you why you work there? You don't belong here. Do you know how many times people have asked me, why am I working where I was at? Or why aren't you on TV? Did I tell you I used to work part-time at Barnes & Noble's? And how I justified it was, Lord, I just want to be in this company to see how they sell books. So I got a little knowledge, but I was still going to stay there. Plus, I justified it by saying they pay every week. And you know, when you low on your funds, you want your money like right now. Like checking the cash, checking the go. I want my money right now. And so one day I'm at the register, and I'm just being pleasant, and I am bringing this one lady up who doesn't know me from Adam, and she stops. And she says, why are you doing this? And I said, excuse me? She said, no, there's nothing wrong with being a cashier, but this is not where you're supposed to be, sweetheart. You're supposed to be somewhere on television. You're supposed to be somewhere talking to people. And she said, God told me that. I said, oh my Lord. Really? I'm at Barnes & Noble. So eventually I left because it was seasonal, which sometimes your jobs are seasonal. They're not meant for you to be there. Sometimes it's training ground. Sometimes it's a place of recovery, like my last job. And I was talking to the executive director, and you know, we were getting ready to part ways, and he said, well, you know what, I've been meaning to tell you this. Since you've been here, which was like a year and a few months, I think God was using this as a recovery place for you, because I had just came out of that depression, right? I said, well, I'm feeling mighty fine up in this place. But there was this older lady, God bless her heart, I don't even know if she's still alive, and the woman was confined to an electric wheelchair. But every morning she had her hair done, she put that lipstick on here. And she had a little purse together, and she couldn't even move her legs. So somebody had to move her leg. If she wanted to adjust her leg, somebody had to grab the bottom of her foot and lift her foot up. And so this particular day, I went in to talk to, well, we're going to call her Miss G, because her last name started with a G. So I go in to check on Miss G. Miss G, how you doing? She says, I'm all right. You know, she's very sophisticated, very regal. You knew where she came from. Either because it didn't matter if she was in a wheelchair. that she was confined to a wheelchair. She never forgot who she was. So I'm helping her, and I'm just having a little nice conversation just to kind of, make her feel good. And she says to me like this. She says, "You're beautiful. You belong here. Why are you here? Why are you working here? You are on television." This lady didn't know me from Adam. Here, it was my demeanor. I'm thinking of a poem that it's titled, these young teenagers did it years ago. And it was called, "It's not what you're called, it's what you answer to," right? You don't have to tell a queen she is a queen. You can put her in a trash sack if that's what she has to wear. But she is going to wear that trash bag such and such a way, people are going to think it's a fad, baby. Did you see that lady walking with that trash bag on? Yeah. Well, who she thinks she is? Girl, didn't you understand? She's a queen, right? Now, I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you something. A while ago, I had a situation, or as some people say, a situation. One of my brothers had an issue with the law. And I was over there trying to hug him. And I think I already told y'all this. And so by the end of this whole ordeal, I ended up being placed on 3 years probation by the federal government. The only thing I had was a speeding ticket, right? And I had to go and report to this probation officer in the federal building where they had most wanted signs. But this little old girl, this young woman, single mom, y'all gonna come after me. And I wrote an article and put it on Facebook, and it's still on there if you want to go read it. And they saw that article and they came after me. Now they got to my brother, so my brother started singing a different story. He was like, "No, you did do what they said." And I said, "The devil is a lie. Are they threatening you with more time?" So anyway, I couldn't rely on his testimony anymore. I brought the pastor to the courtroom. I did everything I could do. Now they wanted me to admit that I assaulted a U.S. Marshal. Now, y'all know I ain't crazy. I'm a lot of things, but crazy I am not. I don't do well stripes in the prison, okay? So I kept telling these people I did not do that. But then my attorney, who was a court appointed, he was a public defender, but my brother told me public defenders are actually public pretenders, right? But Tim was good to me. He kept saying, "Delores, the prosecutor has to win this case because he's trying to go to the next level. And he has chosen you." Out of all the people he could have chosen, this man was so after me that even after the judge put me on 8 months of house arrest and gave me 3 years of probation, he walked by me and said he was sorry. Really? What you have to understand is God holds the heart of the king in his hand. So if you are up against something, it doesn't catch God by surprise. It may catch you by surprise, but it's trying to get your attention, right? So instead of trying to, go through all these extra changes when you can't control it, so per se, ask God, what are you trying to show me about you, Daddy? And then what are you trying to show me about me? So let me tell y'all something. I walked through those 3 years of probation. Yes, ma'am. I was pretty upset because I didn't like the mugshot. I think they could have got a better angle. I was also not pleased with the fact that they shackled me in my stilettos and I had to walk with shackles on up to see this judge, right? So I was on a curfew. But you know what? Instead of saying this is the devil, I said, "Okay, Lord, you're showing me how to appreciate my time. Time management. So I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm not going to give this man any reason to come and say anything crazy to me. Although he still said something crazy to me. They would just pop up in my house unannounced. That's their job. And I would say, "Come on in. You want some coffee? We watching a movie. Would you like to join us?" They came to see if I still had that very unattractive ankle bracelet on my leg. And I wanted to put some rhinestones on it, but he told me I couldn't because it was federal property. So I went to some place like Joann's or Hobby Lobby, and I got a piece of material. It was real pretty. It was black, right? Because at the time I was a praise and worship leader, and I was going to be standing in front of the people of God, right? And I sang in a choir, and we couldn't wear pants. And so I took that material, and I wrapped that thing around that ankle bracelet, and I stuck a rose on it to match my dress or whatever I was wearing that Sunday. And baby, I got to strutting. So when I got free, I wasn't going to explain to the devil, his imps, his pimps, nobody, why I was free. Now, since my battery's going down, we're going to have to pause this here conversation, and we'll pick it up another day, maybe Saturday, I don't know. But I'm going to need you to pop your collar, as the young people say. And when your haters are frustrated, keep moving. Keep stepping. Keep strutting. Get your swag on. Don't apologize for being free. That's all you're going to get from me right now. Guys, see you a little later. Gonna go on over to this birthday party. All right? Bye-bye.